And welcome everyone to another edition of Orlando Magic Pod Squad. Dante Marchitelli, David Steele, Jeff Turner, George Galante, and Magic rookie Jalen Suggs, kind enough to join us. Jalen, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We're doing good. How would you, for those of you that are watching and listening, how would you describe the hotel room inside the Grand America there in Salt Lake City? It's a pretty good spot, isn't it?
It's like a little apartment. You got a living room, nice little walkway to come into, big bathroom. Like this is one of the nicest ones I've been in for sure.
Have you spent much time in Salt Lake City? Did you ever play? Did you play Utah at Gonzaga, or have you ever been there before?
Yeah, we played. Well, not in Salt Lake City, up in Provo, but which isn't too far away. But never in Salt Lake City though. This is my first time.
Well, listen, I know you took you had to leave the game against Portland at the time of this taping. It's the day after the Portland game, but you're feeling good after that. How are you feeling overall? You've taken a lot of falls here lately. I know you feel everybody hold their breath. How are you feeling overall?
You picked basketball, right? And not football. You went the basketball route.
I feel good. I've been taking care of my body. Bumps and bruises, kind of come with the game. And, I've had a couple bad falls, talk about the LA one. But I mean, even that one wasn't even, that bad. That wasn't serious at all. So, I feel really good mentally, physically, emotionally, and, just kind of having a good time with it and, enjoying the team.
You guys, that fall he took in LA, do you think anyone on our team, do you guys think anyone else other than Jalen would have stayed in that game? Would have been able to get back up?
Now you're questioning everybody else on the team, by the way.
No. I'm not saying. I'm saying it was that hard of a fall.
But Jalen, I think you said after that, or one of your falls, that you've taken more hits on the basketball court than you did playing football. How is that possible?
You just try not to get hit. You run out of bounds, you slide, you shoot, you do anything to not get hit. I think, like I said, most of my injuries that I've had throughout my career, I haven't had many major ones, but just the minor ones that hurt or keep you out for a little bit. I've all come from basketball. I've never really missed time because of a football injury. So I don't know. It's pretty ironic.
Jalen, how do you compare the physicality of the NBA to the physicality high school basketball or the season you spent at Gonzaga? And describe the physicality of the NBA for us.
Oh, it's a lot different. You can't even compare them. Just these guys are now you're playing against. It's different because you're playing against grown men. Instead of high school, guys that are your age or younger, college. Same. You play some freshmen. You can get some seniors that are pretty big and strong, but it's nothing like night in and night out where you're having to bang in the paint. Box out bigs. Take the other night against Boston. You got to guard Jaylen Brown, who loves going to the post and posting up things like that. So I think physicality is a big difference. I think you find ways to navigate and use your advantage. Whether it's offensively, defensively, things like that. If you kind of study it, break it down, and find a way to use it for your advantage, it can be really helpful.
Is that part of it for you, though, trying to figure out how to use your physicality and use it to your advantage where you don't get hurt, where you can be physical, and yet that's got to be a real challenge for you because you want to play physical. Obviously, you like to play a physical brand of basketball, but if you go too far, then you might find yourself continually on the injured list or continually battling nagging injuries. So how are you trying to balance that and figure out when to use your physicality and how to use it? Are the coaches talking to you about? Do you look at film, or how does that work for you?
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot throughout the season. And just with my frame, how I like to play. My mentality, a lot of it's downhill. Right at you, and we've kind of just had to learn how to balance that. How to move, play fast, and play physical, and then be able to slow it down so you don't take the crazy falls or find yourself in the second, third row of the bleachers, things like that. But another piece is we watched a lot of film, on guys who like to play, that same way. I think a big one was Jimmy Butler. And just the way that he's able to use his shoulders, get downhill, and use his advantage to get to the foul line. And so I think that's the biggest piece that, we focused on and, try to get better at, as the year's kind of going on.
Jalen, go ahead, JT.
Well, I was going to ask, following up on the film part of it, I think that fans would be surprised at how much film that goes into being an NBA player, how much film study, whether it's the game plan or individual. Were you surprised by how much time you spend watching film when you started in the NBA?
It wasn't as much, as we did in high school, of course, and not as much as in college. But I wasn't surprised by it at all. I knew that, film was a huge piece, and scouting reports, and knowing the opponent's plays, player tendencies, all that stuff. Stuff that I've been used to. Going back to college, before games, I'd go watch, whether it was their highlight tape, because their highlight tapes are all their main moves and things they do to get to where they want to go and things like that. So, for me, with not like as much access, as you have in the NBA, to get any game, any clips, any quarter, like, any move shot, things like that. That's what I resorted to in college. But, I think that kind of just set me up well for the NBA, where it's a lot of the same thing.
I like to ask this of all the guys, not just the rookies. When was the first time you saw somebody on the other side of the court and it took you a little while to be like, holy crap, I'm playing against, LeBron or KD, like somebody you grew up idolizing? What was the first guy this year where it hit you, and maybe it took you a little while to like realize I got to get together here, because he's my opponent now, not just somebody hanging on my wall on a poster?
It was definitely the first time Brooklyn came into town, James and KD. And I wasn't starstruck by it. It was just like, man, like seeing them on the other side warm up and introductions, like, it's crazy, just kind of being this point, after watching them for so long. And, those are guys who, you go emulate their moves, and, you see them play on the highest level and the biggest stage. So I think that was definitely the first time I was like, hold on, I'm actually here.
Jalen, who did you watch? Who were some of your favorite players, and who did you kind of emulate when you were growing up?
Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook. I'd say were like the two main ones, and then of course LeBron James. I mean, of my generation, that's tip of the iceberg, him and Kobe. So I'd say those are the main four right there.
Had you met any of those guys before going into the league? Because I know some guys have interactions with pros before they get to the league. Have you met any of those guys before?
Yeah, I met Russ in Vegas. Just a quick hello, got a picture. When I was we were there for the Fab 48. I want to say it was my sophomore year. I met LeBron my junior year in Vegas at the same tournament. And I hadn't met D Rose, and I didn't get the opportunity to meet Kobe, sadly. But yeah, I got to meet those two in Vegas, just during AU.
Jalen, I got to think as a rookie, everything's coming at you so fast. When you start, I got to think there's a lot to process. You mentioned all the film you got to watch. Then you get hurt and you're out 20 games. How much did that help you? Just take us through some of the conversations you had during the game, from the coaches, from your players, and kind of some of the insight that you gained while you were out that maybe you might not have gotten if you were still playing.
It was a blessing. Like I've said it a couple of times, talking to people, but it was a blessing, 100%. It allowed me to take a step back and just process everything, realize what I was doing, habits I had built, habits that I needed to break. Really just kind of rededicate myself, And I remember having a conversation with Coach Nate. It was after the Rockets game when we played in Houston. I want to say the date was December 3rd. It was December 3rd. And, I said, from this point out, like, you have my full attention, my full presence. I'm ready. Things kind of slowed down, and I realized like my responsibilities and what I got to do. And from that point on, I just kind of rededicated myself, to the game of basketball. And from that point on, I felt great. Our work habits have gotten amazing. Those entire about week and a half, a month and a half, 2 months I was out. Our workouts were really fast paced because, conditioning was something that we were huge on. Before we got started. And so there wasn't a lot of jogging, walking, back and forth between reps, and all of that stuff, just kind of builds habits, builds mindsets. And, when I got back, I got to talk to coach. I sat with the coaches every game, and, getting to talk to Mose, getting to tell them what I see, during a free throw or a timeout. I'd go stand in their little huddle, And it just gives you it lets you gain a lot of knowledge and see the game from a different perspective, than when you're out there playing. Things kind of, move pretty fast, and, your stints can go real quick, and it's easy to kind of get lost in them. So, yeah, it was a blessing. It helped me out a ton. And it's kind of like a mini off season, in the middle of the season. And, it definitely helped me get a lot more comfortable and, play a lot better, perform a lot better to where I wanted to.
It's awesome.
As a primary ball handler and decision maker, your job is a lot more challenging than other positions on the floor. I know you understand that, and that's a big part of what you're trying to go through right now. So as you sat and watched, what were the things that Coach Nate and the other coaches would talk with you about, and the things that you picked up that you want to do better as a primary decision maker and ball handler?
I think the biggest thing would just be like time, score, and situation. Understanding, are we in a bonus or not in a bonus? What's our shot selection been like the past 3-4 possessions? Have we turned the ball over too much? Do we need to slow it down? Has it been, 7-8 possessions where it's just running up and down in quick shots, where you get the rebound or, get it from the big and, walk it up the floor, get into a set and, kind of get everything organized again. I think that's the biggest thing that, I realized from talking to them and being on the sideline and sharing those conversations in game.
I'm wondering who you look at around the league. You look at current point guards in the NBA. Who do you model after in terms of the decision-making part of it?
I don't think you can get much better than Chris Paul. The way that he gets everybody involved early, is still able to pick his spots to be aggressive and get to his shots, and then just commands the entire game. He's never sped up. The pace is always at the pace that the Phoenix Suns want to play at, no matter what the defense, tries to do, whether it's blitz ball screens, switch ball screens, slow the game down, whatever it is, he controls what's going on that night. So, that's something that, we've seen for a while, studied, and, I want to get to that point.
As part of it, Jalen, when you're watching, you're also studying the tendencies of your teammates, where their strengths and weaknesses, how you can make them better, or even, I always marvel at the, screen setting of a Wendell Carter, and, how can I use Wendell to, get where I need to get? Do you look at those kind of things as well?
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny that you brought it up. Me and Cole just had that conversation before the Portland game. We just talked about, getting to learn everybody's game, a lot more better, to where I know what Cole loves to do. I know, where to get him the ball at. He knows where to get Franz the ball at. We all know where to get Wendell and Mo the ball at, things like that. So that R5, that starting five, and then, the bench comes in and, you continue to be comfortable with them, so that it's all just one well-oiled machine, and guys know, their spots, what they're supposed to do, and, we're able to run, play free, and, just kind of do our thing. So
Wendell said you're in the top 5 of point guards he doesn't like setting screens on, right? So he said, so that comes in practice, and he said your screens hit different than a lot of other guys. So that's a feather in your cap. But I'm watching Wendell last night. We all were, and Nurkic is a mountain of a man. And when you see that guy barrel into Wendell and Wendell doesn't move, well, like what that's not human. Like what goes through your mind when you see how strong Wendell is out there?
Wendell is crazy, and he's so strong, he's so explosive. It makes it really hard to guard, because again, with guys like Nurk, big body, slower, he can go bang with them in the post, but then on the other side, you have to guard him. When he comes out and catches it at the elbows, or, maybe a foot, or even at the top of the key, like, you have to guard it. You can't sag off, because he's been shooting it, at a great percentage all year. And, if you climb up, it's a blow by. We've been in the gym a lot, at nights together, or in the mornings before practices and things like that, shoot arounds. And, we've been working on that bag, and getting into the lane, slowing our feet up, making sure that we're comfortable, in control, so that we can go finish. So seeing him put all that into play, plus the physical aspect, which you just talked about, is it's a heck of a combo.
Jalen, at the beginning of the month, you get named to the Rising Stars game. I was a little nervous at first, because you weren't watching, because you guys were getting ready to play the Bulls. the way they were announcing it, Dante and David and Jeff, I don't know, you guys might not have seen it either. The way they were announcing the rosters, they were just reading it off of a note card. And Adam Lefko was the host of TNT, and he reads through the roster and he leaves 3 or 4 guys off. You were one of them. And I had texted Joel Glass, who was on the trip, because he wanted to know what was going on. I said, I go, I don't know if Jalen made it, because he didn't say his
Jeez.
name. I went, I think something happened. But then I realized, well, he also didn't say Jalen Green, and he also didn't say somebody else that was pretty obvious that they should make it. So when you finally got the call, or finally got told that you're in the game, and also Franz is in the game, Cole's in the game. I mean, there's 3 Magic players in the game. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to those guys, your teammates, that, you know, the work you guys are putting in is paying off?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. It's a product of the work. And, you know, for me, I was nervous. I was really nervous. I didn't know if
I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous for you too, because I was worried that they would say, well, he missed a month and a half.
Missed too many games.
And that's gonna keep you out. I was nervous for you too.
Exactly. So, I mean, I don't know.
I wasn't nervous, Jalen. I knew they were going.
That's right.
At least one of us weren't. But nah, it was. You know, I knew that they were getting ready to select the teams, and you know, I tried not to think about it too much. You know, if I made it, you know, great. That's a blessing. You know, especially being a rookie. You know, you want to rack up the accolades, and you know, being named to the Rising Star is something that you know, just means that people are noticing, you know, things that you've done throughout the season. So, yes, knowing that, you know, my name got picked, and, you know, I'll be out there, be able to share that with Cole and Franz, and the rest of the rookie class, the sophomore class, you know, who are all good guys and, you know, cool people. It was special, you know, it meant a lot, and, you know, I definitely take it for granted. Like, I was excited about it, you know, before the game, and then I had to try to calm back down and lock in for Chicago. But, yeah, it's a blessing, though.
Now, listen, don't let the weekend seduce you now. Don't let that weekend, don't get caught up in the weekend now.
Well, the good thing is you're in Cleveland. That's the good thing.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Do whatever you want then, Jalen. It's fine. Fine. It's Cleveland.
Hey, I got a question. Speaking of All-Star Weekend, we've known this for a little while, but it was announced officially, I guess yesterday maybe, that Cole is going to be in the dunk contest. Now you're around Cole a lot and everything. Has he been practicing? Well, I know he's talking. I'm not even going to ask you that. Is he talking about it? Of course he's talking about it. Are you going to be involved with him maybe a little bit? But give us a little quick insight, or is it all top secret?
I don't know. We've talked about like some possible dunks. You know, we have gone over some things, and, you know, some stuff that he's gonna pull out. And I can't disclose that. That is, you gotta wait for the dunk contest to see that. But nah, Cole is a freak athlete. Like, it's funny how we will come in the gym for a shoot around, and I know I'm stiff and I need to warm up, and he's skipping super high in the air. The first basketball, he's going to dunk it. Like, he's just flying out of nowhere. It's crazy. But nah, I'm excited for him. I can't wait to see what he pulls out, you know, from the stuff that we've talked about, and, you know, other stuff that he has up his sleeve. So it's going to be a fun night on Saturday.
You know, we haven't talked to you on this format since early. I'm just wondering what you think about the young core that you're a part of. You know, you're talking about Cole, and we talked about Wendell. Franz is, you know, in your situation, 20-year-old rookie right out of college. Just the young core. Do you talk about it? Are you looking around at each other and thinking, boy, this has a chance to be special in a fairly short period of time? I mean, is that something that you guys are looking at?
100%. You can see it. I mean, you can feel it, you know, especially with us. I think a great part is how close we are, and that makes it really easy to root for each other. Like, everyone wants each other to succeed. With each other succeeding, you know, your own success will come in that. You know, and then just the multitude of talent, you know, that's there is, I mean, it's hard not to think about, you know, and really just, you know, that's the main thing I was saying as I was getting ready to kind of come back, you know, the last couple of days, last week, just like, man, like, I was asking the training staff, like, okay, like, I think I'm good to come back now. I want to run with everybody. Like, the guys, they were playing great basketball, and we were in a lot of those games, and, you know, with 3-point losses, 5-point losses, you know, even lost to that at like 10, but coming down the stretch, we were right in those games, and a couple shots, go the other way, and those are wins for us. So yeah, I mean, with everybody we have here now, and the staff, I mean, the staff is amazing. I think that's what ties everything together. I mean, for all the talent that we have, and athletes and things like that, our staff is amazing, in a way that they bring the energy every day, are committed to their craft, to the same extent as we are. And, it makes for a great combination. So, yeah, the future's bright. Can't wait to get there. But, this year and, however long until we get there, it's all about building the process, building our identity, and the foundation of what we want to build.
Jalen, the dunk on DeMar DeRozan. I got to know what kind that was got a lot of play on social media and all the highlight shows. What was the response that you got? I'm sure friends and it's all fun. I know he thinks greatly of you and you think greatly of him. You guys had a nice exchange after the game, but
He just got in the way, Dante.
He just got in the way.
Just happened to be
and I know that you must have got a lot of fun response from that.
Oh yeah, it was funny. Just all the friends, that hit me up, friends, family, sending it to me, like, just saying goofy stuff, things like that. It was funny. And I don't know, just in the moment, it was so fun. Just because, again, like that night, it wasn't like there was no trash talk towards the Bulls. There was no trash talk towards DeMar.
Right.
Like it was all of the red that was in the crowd that night. And we don't have no red. We have orange and we have blue, but we don't have red. And so really, it just came from that, wanting to spark the Magic fans that were in that crowd and, kind of turn up the arena and, just have a good time playing basketball, playing a great game. And, you can talk about being humble, whatever you want, but it wasn't boasting. It was enjoying a great game, a great night with the team. And, we don't got to be miserable because we don't have the best record this year. Like, this is not what we're focused on. We're focused on getting better every day. And, when we do, get better and playing well, you're going to enjoy that. So, yeah, that was a fun night. My first time dunking on somebody in a long time. So I think that's where a lot of that.
Dante and I were knocking each other over on the sideline too when that happened too, for sure. That was a good one.
We were enjoying the heck out of that. And I thought Wendell said something cool the next day. You heard the Bulls fans and I know you heard the Lakers fans, and he made the comment of, kind of getting the arena back and racking up some wins. And you guys did that. You guys won 3 out of 5 on that homestand. And I know that's a goal of yours, right? I know you're trying to grow, but you guys are competing like hell. You guys are trying to win games out there, and fans are noticing, and that's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, it's all part of the process. And, yes, we don't have the best record. Yes, we've been in a lot of games. Yes, we've had some tough losses. But, it's all about our unit coming together, getting closer, and growing with each other on and off the court each day. And we're doing that. You can feel it in the locker room and, wherever we're at. So, now it could just all on continuing to grow and build on that and, get it to where, when these other teams come in and play Orlando, they feel everybody from Orlando straight Magic blue in the crowd. We got the city jerseys on, but that's the kind of culture that we're trying to work towards, to get to.
You mentioned the coaching staff. Of course, the head of that staff, Coach Mosley, he might be the most positive, encouraging person that I have ever been around. Just from your perspective, what do you see from the head coach?
He's the best. Moses is the best, man. I love the real conversations that we can have, about what's going on, about life, things like that. And at the end of the day, come back in and laugh with each other, and just enjoy each other's company, the same way he does with everyone on the staff and everyone else on the roster. I mean, like I said, they bring the juice every day. We talking about Mose to 1T to Jesse to Nate, down to Randy to Lionel, like Tay. Everybody brings it every day, and it makes it so much fun to come in and practice, work out, play games. Because we know that they're just as excited as we are, about what's going on. So, yeah, man, they're the best. They're a huge part of what we have going on right now.
That's awesome. What insight can you give us, Jalen, about Markelle and Jonathan? I know we don't have timelines and we don't know when they'll be back, but you're seeing them practice. You've seen the work that they put in. How do they look to you? Do they seem close? What do you, and how excited do you get about having them on the floor with you?
I can't wait for them to come back. I can't wait. But nah, they look good, you know. And when I was coming back, you know, my last couple of days in, you know, rehab before, you know, I got cleared. You know, I played some one-on-one against Markel. Markel looks good. I tell you what, he looks good. You know, without, you know, saying too much. You know, 'cause I don't know. I'm not in conversations with, you know, the training staff and anything like that. But he looks good. You know, his presence is great. It's awesome to have him around, you know, on the road, at home, you know, just because he's so smart. He's seen a lot, you know, so I know that that's a piece that I really enjoy, you know, and having him around, especially on his past couple of road trips. But yeah, on the court, he looks good. J.I. looks great. You know, it's just one of those injuries where, you know, you can feel good, you know, but it's hard to get back 100%, you know, and, you want to be careful and take your time with those things.
Jalen, I think we're going to wrap up here, but before we wrap up, we got a couple of fan questions. The fans knew you were going to come on. We like to, you know, make them feel like they're a part of it. So I'm just going to throw a couple of random questions from fans at you, real quick ones. Okay. Who is the funniest guy on the team?
Chuma.
Everybody now.
I don't understand
this.
Everybody says Chuma. I'm starting, guys. I am starting to see it because he is starting to open up. We had actually a long conversation the other day. Well, long for Chuma, it was about 2 minutes. But like he told me he's just starting to feel more comfortable with people, and I think that's what it is. I think from the outside, right? Tell us, Jalen. Everybody says Chuma.
Chuma is hilarious, and I think one of the funniest parts about it is that you can never tell if he's like being serious or if he's joking. And it's the funniest thing ever. And
that's the thing. Like, is he funny because he's trying to be funny, or is he just naturally a funny guy?
He's not trying at all in the slightest bit. And you will have the whole locker room in tears.
It is
so we're laughing at him. We're not laughing with him. We're laughing at him. Is that what we're saying?
There's a great mix of that. It's a great mix of that.
Great mix of that. Okay, got it.
Listen, Jalen's not alone. Everybody we asked that question to, it's 100. It's almost 100% Chuma. All right, so
Robin Lopez had the best answer. He said Chuma has the combination of satire, timing, and prop comedy. As only Robin can break it down.
That's Robin. Favorite food, Jalen. They want to know what your favorite food is.
Oh man. That is a difficult question. My favorite food.
I mean, it's not a real original question. Let's put it that way. But they want to know what your favorite food is.
I'm gonna go out the food that I would love to have right now, and that would be like a sweet potato casserole. Oh my goodness. Oh, that sounds really good.
Marshmallows on top. You melt marshmallows on top or anything?
Yes, I have a lot of different favorite foods, and that's just one that's on my mind right now. So that's where we're gonna go.
All right, you're gonna have to get some of that Uber Eats then. What has been your favorite part about Orlando so far?
My favorite part about Orlando been the variety of things that you can do. I mean, you can stay downtown, and there's a ton of stuff to do. A lot of great spots, you know, to hang out at, to eat at. Then you can go, you know, into all the different suburbs, and we talk about, I don't know, Kissimmee. I'm still kind of getting, you know, used to all the names of them, but, you know, you can go about 15, 20 minutes out, and, you know, now you're a bit more calm, and, you know, it's slow paced. You know, there's a lot of great restaurants out there as well. And then another thing I've loved about it lastly is all the escape rooms. I have become an escape room connoisseur.
Have you? Interesting.
What's
your tips? What's your advice? How do you get out of these escape rooms?
Don't go with Chuma. Is that the key?
We got to do an escape room with Chuma. That's gonna happen.
I smell a feature, Dante. I smell a TV feature.
We got it coming
Chuma
on.
and Jalen in the escape room.
Nah, the biggest piece of advice is do not get frustrated. And don't be afraid to use hints. Because one, you can go about 5-10 minutes and be looking at the thing that you need and understand it. and just it won't click. And then as soon as they say it, like boom, it'll be like, you know, they'll be clicking it. It's like, okay, well, I already knew that. I just needed the 0.1% to finish it off. But yeah, escape rooms are really fun.
Don't let your pride get in the way. Take the clue. I got it.
Yeah,
All right.
right.
All right. This will be the last one for the fans. You've seen a lot of football this year. We know you went to a couple of football games. We know the passion you have for football. Which NFL player do you think would do best in the NBA? If you took a football player and put him in the NBA.
Based off of the visual evidence, I'm going Myles Garrett.
Yeah, you might have to.
Oh my goodness. What is he, 6'8"?
He's a freak.
260, dunking, dribbling, shooting fadeaways. Like, nah, I don't want to go. That's a scary guard. That's a scary guard.
Well, he'll be out there with you All-Star Weekend. He's playing in that. He's playing in that celebrity game.
Yep.
On Friday, so you'll get to see it. Okay, last thing, Super Bowl. You're putting on your Bengals jersey. You're putting on your Rams jersey. Who do you got?
For as much as I love Joe Shiesty, Joe Burr, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, all the guys, Jesse Bates, I'm going with the twin Jalen Ramsey in LA. I have to. I think it's going to be a great game, though. It's going to be an amazing game. I can't wait.
That's great. You'll have an off day. You guys get to do something? You guys got something planned?
Yeah. The game.
All right, Jalen. Well, this is great. Thanks so much for the insight. It's a lot of fun. Obviously, we're all big fans of yours, and we can't wait to see how the last 20+ games go. And good luck in Cleveland, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're all proud of you.
Don't let it seduce you, Jalen.
Don't
let it seduce you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Appreciate it. That'll do it
right.
for another
Thanks,
edition of
Jalen.
Magic Pod Squad. Jalen Suggs.